Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and yeah, let's get into this. Alright, how's everybody doing today? We have a interesting situation today, as we're going to try and let's open up the original project again. We're going to work on the options and stuff from the original project. I think it's this one. Yep. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the configuration window here. Yeah, I can't zoom because it's amazing. Alright, so we have an option for port, our folder list, add, remove, and save the settings, and then we have the options. So let's just create our form here. We're gonna add a new WPF window, and this is going to be called configuration. We'll call this options window. Alright, so then we're going to make a new class. This is going to be called options view model. Go ahead and make this the view model base. Alright. Alright. So in here, same thing we did with the original window. Data context is, and let's just go ahead and do this for a second. We need to add in XML namespace VMs equals view models, so that we can do VMs options view model. Alright, so now we have our view model. We can get rid of this, and what are we going to do? So in our main window here, right? Let's actually open up our main window view model. So this one here, it contains the configuration. Does it not? No, it doesn't. It's on the REST server. So, so we don't really have to do that, because when we do rebuild entire database, it load server config. So it loads the server configuration before it does anything. So we can just go ahead and save this configuration. So let's go ahead and go to the load server config, and we're just gonna copy this options, and we're gonna make this here, and what I want to do is do a user configuration server config is going to be, just set it like that. I'm in the class, I thought that was the function, blah blah blah. Like that. Alright, so this is our loading of the server configuration. Oops. And we need our XML, IO. Alright. Okay, so there's how we load. So we have a public options view model, and we don't need, it can be empty. But when we load, what we're going to do is we're going to load the server config, and and what we're going to do is we need our properties now. So we're going to make a region, window properties. Alright, so what we want is we're going to have all the little options. So this is going to take a little bit longer than it used to, because we only, in the original one, we only had two. We had tempo and energy. We're going to try and figure out a way to populate the list. Probably with a list box, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here. Okay, so we want a port. Yeah, public int port is okay, so when we do when we get the port, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do server config port, and when we set it, we're gonna do if server config port is equal to value return. Otherwise, the server config port is equal to value, and then notify property change name of port, and then we're going to save configuration. Alright, so what we want to do is I need this, and I need the save database. Okay, let's do it's probably in here actually. Yeah, this is our saving part. So we're gonna do this. And we'll do down here. Region server configuration save the load. And I want a public void save configuration. And we're gonna go XML serializer. What is it? This here. Like that. Alright, so there we go. There's our configuration. So we can get rid of this now, so we can see a little bit more clearly. So there's our port. So then we have our observable collection of string. This is going to be folder list. And we want server config library configuration folders. That, and then set. So when we add one, we're going to go if server config library configuration folders contains value return. Otherwise, we're going to go server config library configuration folders add value. No. Okay, so in order to do this, we're gonna have to do a we're gonna have to make a function that when we do the command to add it, we will add it to the list and do our checks there, and then just populate this. So and then we want a new get. And then we want to go if server config library folders. Nah, that's not going to work. My collection is being populated from the configuration folder. So all we should do is that. And then so then we'll notify this one changes, which will refresh the get. Now we want the list of string. Nope, we want the command for adding it. So we're gonna do command region commands. Okay, so we want a void add folder to library string folder. We'll go path. Okay, and then we want to do if server config library config folders contains path return, otherwise server config library folders add path, and notify property change name of folder list, like that. And then we're gonna have a void delete folder from library string path, server config library configuration folders remove, and then path property change name of folder list, like that. Okay, so there's our delete, and then we have our void save. Oh, we already have our save configuration, so we'll do that one. So here is going to be our relay commands. So we're going to do add folder, and then we want to kind of copy So what we're going to do is we're going to go add folder to library option. Like that. We'll just do, oh my god, stop it. Path to string. And this is going to be add folder command. Add folder command. Like that. Alright, and then we will copy this. And we'll do this. Delete folder command. Delete folder from library. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and start working on this part here. Let's build this, make sure this is all going to run. Yeah, that's okay. It shouldn't matter. Alright, let's just go ahead and do this, split this out, and we will flip them. Alright, so the options is going to have our grid. So first option is going to be, let's just start doing a stack panel, orientation horizontal, and we're going to go text block. Text is equal to binding port. And let's just run this real quick. Oh, it's not gonna, I don't have the options command. 1 second. Let's go back in the main window. We need to create a command in here. Open options window. Open option window command, and we'll go like this, and we will just go like options window equals new options window show, and in our main window options we say our command is binding open command. Right. There we go. Alright, so now, okie dokie, you're here. Hello, Zax. How are you doing? Okay, so this should open the window, and we got the port. Okay, that's always good. I like that. Okay, so now in our options window, we need to, let's go look at the original. So I have a list box of all the folders, and then a add, remove, and save. So this is 1, 2, we'll say 4 rows, right? And 2 columns. So we're gonna do a we need to do grid row definitions, row definition. Okay, so this one is going to be 30 pixels, and then row definition height is going to be star for now until we add the next row. Okay, and then this one is in grid. Oh, I need to chat. Well, what we're doing is we're converting a 1 second, let me just write this out. we're converting an old program to WPF. So this is a WinForms program, which I'm pretty sure that you've worked with already. And it's different the way that it handles going between windows, doing commands and stuff like that. So we have started working on the view model for our window, and now I'm just trying to recreate and replicate the old form layout visually. And we need to split this so that we can see it. So we have that one, and then we're going to do we'll do a grid here, and the grid row is going to be 1. Now this grid is the one that we're going to split into 2 columns first. So grid column definitions, column definition, this width is going to be like 80% of the window, and then the next column width is going to be star. Alright, so see, so that's a little too much, so let's go 70%. We'll go 30, like that. There we go, that works. Okay. And then we want grid row definitions. We want a row definition. So the first row is the height of the buttons, right? And then we're just going to make the left column span all the rows. So we're going to do height is going to be, we'll make them 40 pixels each. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And actually we'll do 4 star because we want them 40%. Okay, and then so this is on grid row 1. So the first one is going to be a stack panel. Grid row span is going to be all 4. Grid column is going to be 0. And the orientation is vertical. Alright. So we're going to stack things vertically. And so what this will do is it will give us actually, you know what? We're going to do horizontal so that it fills the screen. So we're going to do, I have to go clean, so no problem for me right now. Aw, sorry, you have to clean. That's okay. Enjoy. We'll be back. We'll be here probably for another hour. We're going to do a list box. And we're going to say it is items source is binding folder list. Mode is one way. And then update is property changed. Alright. So there's the first part. The next one is going to be selecting. Actually, here, we'll just run this and we'll see what this looks like. Alright, so we got that. Okay, so it's not stretching. So let's go ahead and let's make this vertical again. Let's see what this does. There we go. So now it's not the full height. Maybe it has to be a grid. Yep, there it goes. Now it's the whole full size. Okay, so when I select this now, I want to be able to, let's add our buttons next, just so that we can do this. So we're going to do a grid of, no, we'll just do a button. Grid column is 1. Grid row is 0. And this is going to be save or add. Yeah, we'll make an add button. We're going to do a margin is going to be 10, 10, 10, 10. Alright. So that's 1. Come on. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 0, 1, and 3. And we're just going to skip a row. And this one is going to be remove, and this is going to be save. Font size is going to be 24. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger here. Yep. Alright. Let's see what this looks like. Add, remove, and save. Alright. So now the text block. So this can't be a text block. It has to be a text box so that we can edit it. And we will say the width is going to be 90. We'll say 100. Do 100. And then mode is two-way. Update is property changed. So in our options remodel in our port, it's saving it every time we type. So if I go into here and I delete and I close and I exit and I start, I shouldn't, yeah, there, see, it saved it. So now I have to add the 4 back in. I don't need the save anymore since it's all automatically saving it. So let's get rid of that. We don't need it. There we go. Add and remove. Okay, so then the fun part is going to be the other part, the options. So the options are going to be a little tricky. This is on star. What if we make this like 90%? Oops, 90%. And I want a row definition height is going to be like 30%. Alright. So that's too small. Okay, so these are too big. Okay, well, we don't need these anymore. Make these. We'll do that. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now this one, this grid row is 2. And let's just put a label test. Alright, so that's down there. So now what we need is another list box here. But it's not going to be folder list. We want to add a list of options, right? So options. So the list of the options, this is going to be a public observable collection of strings, alright? Option names. Get new observable collection of strings. Now I want server configuration, or actually we'll do enum get names type of and I want Spotify descriptors. Like that. Okay. So now we come in here and we say this is option names. And this should give us the name of all of the options that we have available, and it doesn't like that. Type provided must be an oh, because it's not a name, an enum, it's a class. I'm curious. Okay, I'm going to, I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Alright. Oh, YouTube, are you still there? Yes. Alright, so I'm not sure if there's a way to do this. So no. Try this. Oop, no. Oh. There you go. What is your problem? No! Alright, so that doesn't work. Is it just not showing? Oh. Right? No. Oh, that one's right. This one needs to be on here. Right? We got 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2. We've got 0, 1, 2. Oh, I don't need this. I want the menu thing. This one. That's the list box there. Properties. Item source is a collection. Alright, 1 second. Let's try and break this out and see what's actually going on here. Not folder list. I want this one. one sec here. So var property names is going to be type of Spotify descriptors, get properties, select name to list, should be a list of strings, right? And then we do return new observable collection string of property names. And what I want to do is I want to go F5, select this window, wait for the breakpoint when, oh. Okay, so, oh, wait a minute. I know why. Oops. It's because they're not public. So it doesn't know that they're here. Yep, there we go. Alright. Okay, so let's get rid of this toolbox again. And so now we have a list of all of the properties. So we're gonna cut it in half, just like this column, and probably the other way, so it'll be more like over here, and then the right side is going to be our slider. Okay, let's go ahead and do so how are we going to do this? We're going to select the property, and then whatever the value in that you select in the slider, it's going to set the selected property. So can we do that? Public, let's do a list of sorry, we'll do a public string, actually we need to do string selected property. Learning basic programming, what would you suggest is the best first step into learning? For me, it's doing like a simple project, right? So a lot of people do like a calculator as their first one. It really depends on where you're going to start, like what language you're in. What do you want, cat? No. No. Cat's being annoying today. So it depends on what you're going to be doing for a language, right? What language you're going to start in. If you're going to do C#, it's usually a good idea to try with WinForms first, because it'll give you a good idea of how functions work and passing references between windows and stuff like that. And then from there you can evolve into WPF. If you really don't know anything about programming at all, you'll probably want to start with a console app, because that will get you used to operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, probably working with simple generic stuff like lists of strings and things like that, and parsing out things, finding out if does this list contain what I'm looking for, if it does, add it, or if not, remove it, doing stuff like that, and going through some simple tutorials online even will help you understand the basics of whatever language you're in. See, even if it's Python, here, I'll just do we'll do a new, we'll do a Python, we're going to do a console, so we're going to say Linux Python application, test Python, sure. So like this is a Python application that is going to run in a console. And basically you would, once you get all of the stuff, go away, I don't want that for now. You would basically do stuff like import OS, and then actually we'll do date time. And then you do print date time actually, let's just do time, because I think this will give me get clock info. No, see, I don't do Python at all. I did it once, and I kind of hashed my way through it. Local time. And we'll see who does it. So this is like the structure of the local time, right? So you have your year, your month, your day, and so from here you could like TM year. So if I run this, it's going to spit out 2020, right? So there's little things that you can learn about how a language works based on, you know, once you understand the foundations of any programming language, you can usually muddle your way through until you can, you know, you can point yourself in the direction of like a little project or something. Because doing a project, what that'll do is it'll force you to learn how to do a specific task, and you'll have to research it, look it up on tutorials, Stack Overflow, all kinds of sources, and learn how it works, not just copy and paste, although a lot of people do copy and paste. It's good to know how the language actually works, and that'll help you, you know, solve things in the future. It is impossible to memorize every single thing. Even the best programmers in the world have to look stuff up on docs and make sure that they are doing everything correctly. You know, there's just too much stuff to do unless you do one thing really well. But when you start getting into, let's say, this program where we've got like C#, we've got WPF stuff, so we've got properties in our XAML files that we have to know how all of these little properties work on here. And then we have to do like database work or serialization with XML, learning all of those little things, you know. Yeah. Just start off with a simple project first. That's what I would do. Okay, so selected item, or selected value, binding. Oh, did I not add it yet? No, I didn't. Selected property, public, string, selected property, get, selected property, set, if selected property equals value, return. Otherwise, we're going to say selected property is the value. Notify property change, name of selected property. Yeah, my first project was a long time ago, was a battleship game where you would have to type in a letter and a number coordinate, and you would play a game of Battleship with the computer, and that was it. So yeah, but that was in Turbo Pascal, so that was a long time ago. That was like 96 when I was doing that. A long time ago. Okay, so we have a selected property now. So now what this means is that my selected property mode is one way to source. Update is when the property changed. So on my options view model now, let's go into here. So here, value is danceability. There we go. Okay, so we've got our property being selected now. So now we know the name of the property. So now the real question is going to be, let's split this up first, and then we'll deal with the other part. So I need to do this. This. We'll do 3 tick bar. I think that's the one. width is going to be 300, height is going to be 30, min value minimum is 0, maximum is equal to 100. Alright, so so this is going to be really interesting. What are you doing, YouTube? Oh, my internet died. See, is every 5. See what this looks like. Really doesn't look any different. Alright, so okay, when I select the value, okay, so this is when I set the selected property, I am selecting the name of it, so then I'm going to retrieve the current value that is saved. So I want to go and set, okay, so now I need a an int slide property slider value, public int, oops, property slider value. When I get it, I'm going to do this. Oops, come on. And when I set it, I'm going to do this. So, you know, the problem is that I don't know how to do this yet. Get, I'm going to return the, okay, so I need to get server config, library configuration, nope, NimbleList parameters. Okay, so this is the integer, so I want the and then I want selected property. I don't think that's how I do that. Get the property. So this should be a property info, right? Okay, so this is the property info. So can I do server config, NimbleList parameters, this is going to be an interesting one. So I want to get the value of a property by name. Of the object. So this is the reflection. So if I pass in this, object to an int. Okay, so let's try this. Let's do int. Let's okay, I want this. So I want to do when I select a property, I want to notify property changed, name of property slider value. Okay, like that. So now I'm going to try this. We're going to see if this value is oh, I bet you I'm not binding it to anything right now. Okay, let's make this a little easier to read. Okay, the value is binding property slider value. There we go. Oops. So the value is 0. Okay. Okay, so that works. So now what I want to do is I want to do the set. So if I go server config NimbleList parameters, get type, get property, selected property, set value, okay, so now it wants set the value to object, so I want this and then value. Okay, so I'm just curious now. So I'm gonna go and break it, apparently. Value cannot be null. Oh. If selected property is null, return. What are you talking about? Yeah, that works. Okay, so if I do loudness and I go here, right here, and then we're gonna slide it. All right, so 34, server config is this. Okay, so let's stop this and let's go. That's loudness. So we'll go to here and we'll go to here. Aha! See, it worked. Ah, yeah. All right. So we got. I can change all of these values. And it's remembering everything. All right. Now we're happening. Okay, so now when I change a property, when I set the value, we're gonna go like this. Save configuration. Now this might crash when I slide it really fast. Nope. Okay, well, I guess it can write really fast. Okay, so now the real fun part is going to be, let's actually look at that. Open folder. Alright, so here is the configuration. Ah, see, energy is 6. Look at that, hey? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first put the value on here. So we're going to make here's our slider. I want a text block. Text is going to be binding slider property value. Oh, let's I can't do that when it's snow. Okay, one sec here. Okay, so we're gonna do, I need to enable and disable the slider bar. So when you you know what? We won't do that. We won't do that. We'll just add it in here. So when we get this, it's already returning is nothing. But if the selected property is null, return. And that way we can move it and it's not going to try to set a null value. So here's this. Okay, so problem is in here, notify property changed, property slider value. Whoops. Name of. Like that. When I set it, and that way this should update the, well, it will once I do this. Property changed. There we go. Alright, so now we've got our value displaying. It's just on the corner. We'll fix that. We should do that right now, actually. Okay, so right now this is in a grid. We're going to put this in a stack panel. Orientation is vertical. We're going to shove this whole thing into that. And we're going to say horizontal alignment is center. Vertical alignment is center. So it'll be in the middle all the time now. Okay. Do I like that? Do I like that? Let's see if we can make it bigger. No, it's not border thickness. Geez, that's hard to see. I don't get what ticks is. I don't understand what the ticks is. What is the slider property ticks WPF? Getter set the positions of the tick marks to display. Oh! Oh, it's just a collection of them. Oh. Wow, we don't care about that. We don't need those. Okay, what's next? The add buttons. So in our view model, we have options, commands. Here we go. So add folder and delete folder. Okay, so we need the file, the folder view, open folder. I think that's what it's called. So when I click this, I want to go open folder dialog. Oh. What is it called? WPF open folder dialog. Open directory? Folder browser dialog. There we are. Folder. Close new. This. Okay, so folder. Oh, it's disposable, so you can do using this, and then you can go like dialog result. Did it actually add that stuff? No, it didn't. One sec here. Okay. Alright. Dialog results. There we go. There's going to be the result is folder show dialog. Alright, so if result is equal to OK, we're going to do this. There it goes. Like that. So what we did there, just for anybody who wants to know, we're since folder browser dialog, man, that's hard to say, is a disposable object. If we go and look at this, it's a common dialog, which is a component, which has iDisposable as an inherited like component or inherited class. So it's inheriting through all of these levels. So it does do disposable, which means that it removes itself from memory every time you get rid of it. You can use it in this using block, which while we're inside here, this is active, and as soon as we leave, it disposes of itself and clears itself from memory. So we do everything inside here, and once it's done, it just disposes itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the add folder command, and then we're going to that's the one that we're adding. When we delete it, we need the whatchamacallits, the things with the stuff. The selected path, string selected folder, public string selected folder, selected folder, and when we set it, we go if selected folder is value, we return. Otherwise, the selected folder is equal to the value, and notify that we've updated the property called selected folder. If anyone is curious about this, this is a view model base class that uses the iNotify property change, and every time you set a property on a view model, so like you set a text value or a string or whatever, a list of objects, you change something, you can tell this is a way to notify the application that you've updated that property, and then the UI refreshes that property from the view model. So in this case, when I update the selected, I say, well, I've set it, it says, oh, the UI should update it, so it calls the get of it, and then it displays what you just set. Otherwise, it just sits there and doesn't update or anything like that. So now that we've selected the folder, we want the remove, and we're gonna go if selected folder is null, return. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove I want, actually, you know what, we're gonna put this here. We're gonna go, actually we don't need that. We don't need this in here. We will just call it in here, and we will use the selected folder in here. Remove this, and folder list update. Yeah, and we should do notify property name, change name of, oh, we have to go selected folder is null, and then we go notify property change name of selected folder, and we'll make sure that we reset it after we removed it. We'll clear the one that we've selected so it goes to nothing. So if I add, oh, I have to bind the buttons. One sec here, options window. So my add button command is binding. This is add folder command. And this one is command binding delete folder command. Run this and we should get a dialog box here. Add, we'll do like PC, D drive, we'll add 311 revolver. Alright. Oh, nope. Add folder to library. Okay, so add folders. No. Yes, that is right. Okay, this is not path, this is result. I think so. I think that's what it is. I think that should work. Oh man. It's folder path, selected path. It's a string already. It better not have OK in there now. This PC, D drive, alternative, revolver. There we go. Okay, so now, oh, I have to bind the selected folder. Options window here. So I need selected value is binding selected folder. Mode is two-way. Update when the property changes. Alright. Options, add, this PC, D drive, alternative 311. Okay. And if I remove this, look at that. Okay, so now when I update my folders, I also need it to save. So when I select the property and I go add a folder, we're gonna go like this. Save configuration. And then when we delete this, save configuration. Like that. So if I remove this and I add like this, okay, I'm not gonna add a big folder like that. When I close, when I open, it's in there. Okay. Check for new songs. 133. And we're gonna go add. D. Actually, we'll remove this. Let's add the whole alternative folder and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's stinking. It locked up my UI. Alright, it needs to run in its own thread. Yeah. I need threading on that puppy. Okay, stop. Okay, so when I go into my main window, view model, okay, my REST server rebuild entire database. Okay, we'll get rid of this, forget this. I want to run all of this. What is that? I gotta remember how this works now. Oh, okay. Is a new thread. Okay. Okay, no. Let's do task run. Oops. Like that. So this should run in its own thread, okay? So I don't know if I want the whole thing in, but we're gonna do, I don't know if I can do this from outside. That's the problem. I think it's gonna do, it's not thread safe, so I think it'll crash here. Let's do something smaller just to try this out here. This PC, no, D drive. Alternative. Oh, it does work. Okay, let's try. Oh, now I missed the whole thing. Alright, we need to, I don't like how it hangs while it processes all the folders. So, this one here has less folders, but let's try this again here. It's already not updating properly. What? What? Where is... Didn't I have a thing in here where I was adding in that folder? Yes. That I did. Delete the database. Start. There we go. So now the real question is, when I rebuild it, when I rebuild the entire database, my music stopped again because YouTube's dumb. Is it actually deleting the config? It's supposed to check for new songs. What is the problem? No. Okay, when I rebuild the database, I should have something where it checks all the ones that are in there and see if the folders match. So if it starts with the folder, the path, if it counts more than one, keep it. If it doesn't, then we're just gonna end it. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go, if the song, okay, so So after this, we're going to verify folders removed have removed the tracks from the library. So what we'll do is we'll say actually, we'll do this on our remove. When we remove the folder, we're going to for each, we're going to remove remove music by path, and we're going to pass in the selected folder. We're going to go to up here. Alright, and then in here, where am I? Let's go up above commands. We'll go up here, right? Is this just properties? These are options. Let's do void remove, what is it? Remove by path. And this is a string path. Okay, so for each song info in song DB. Oops. Oh, I can't do that. Because I don't have a reference to the song database yet. Well, you know what? Let's just load it. Seeing as we're loading it here, we're gonna go main window, view model. Rest. We want to go load. Save database, read database. There we go. I want to go like this. List of song info. Song DB is the new list of song info. And we'll do this and song DB. And what we're gonna do is come back to here and we're gonna go save database. Like this. Sure, we'll keep that in there. Keep that. And we don't need this. We don't care. Yeah, that works. Okay. For each song. So for each one, we're going to say if song path starts with path song DB remove. Oh crap! I can't do that inside. Let's can we do song DB for each where it starts with the path. Oops. Really? I thought it had an index function. Oh my god. BB any no, I want Y path starts with path. Remove all and get any that starts with the path and return them. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Okay, well that's not what I want. Remove, delete folder from library. So Allison Change is the only one that should be in there. And AFI is in there. alternative, AFI, studio albums.